Hello, my name is Xenia and welcome to my vlog. Here goes nothing. Okay, so I originally wanted to talk about cultural foods and the impact of media, but there's so little information about that. I wasn't prepared for that kind of research, so which is telling, but this is close enough. Instead, I'll be talking about media's impact on Latinos' relationship to their bodies, mostly Latinas, and eating disorders. So, these days, the media, especially social media, can dictate how we feel about our bodies and how we look in general. Body image is how we see ourselves through a lens that has taught us we must be perfect and flawless. Cultural identity and society teaches us about our perception of physical beauty. Popular media like TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat perpetuate the idea of perfection and unattainable thinness while having perfect curves because of body enhancing apps and filters. I personally call it manufactured beauty because it's far from natural or normal. This has been argued by scholarly critique. Can't really say that. It's a tongue twister. Distorted body image and eating disorders are more common now in the Latino community than ever before because, especially for Generation Z, Gen Z are the teenagers right now, and they're taking in exorbitant amounts of social media every day. In their attempts to be thin, girls and young women are waging daily wars against their own bodies. So, I keep saying so. I need to stop that. Things we know are that media promotes a narrow and unrealistic standard of beauty that promotes thinness. Did I already say that? I feel like that is redundant, but that's okay. Mainstream media promotes a very westernization idea of beauty, like narrow hips, a little bump of a butt, not too much breast, and absolutely under no circumstances a belly. It's got to be snatched. Yes, there's even a word for it now, snatched. It does not align with cultural standards. Cultural preferences in the Latino community show more diverse body types. It can lead to body dissatisfaction and negative impact on self-esteem. On social media, the look is changing and the desirable body type is becoming more and more unattainable because of cosmetic surgery and these body enhancements. Quick story. The other day, I went shopping with my niece. We did our first shopping spree, which she absolutely loved. While we were trying on jeans, she made comments on her own butt, wishing it was bigger. She's so thin and she's a soccer player, so she has an athletic body and a cute little butt. I told her not to worry, it'll get there. But at 15, this isn't something that she should be worried about, but she sees it on social media all the time. So that was, it was a disappointment, but it was also, it was a conversation. And yeah, so we had it. Let's talk about representation for a moment, especially since we devoted a week to it and it's relevant here. The underrepresentation and misrepresentation of Latinos in the media can contribute to a sense of exclusion and marginalization. When cultural diversity is not portrayed, it reinforces stereotypes, right? It reinforces stereotypes and creates a lack of visibility, not just with body types, but also cultural traditions, and that includes traditional foods. Traditional foods, the media's portrayal of foods, what people eat, influences what we eat. Advertisements and billboards promoting fast foods is ubiquitous in Latino neighborhoods and on TV, really. Or the other extreme is white folks promoting organic foods that don't include cultural foods. This can result in a clash between cultural values and external influences, potentially impacting food choices and cultural identity. The rise of social media has given rise to a new wave of influencers who shape opinions and trends. Influencers may endorse certain body types, diets, or food choices that may not align with traditional Latino values or cultural views, and they generally don't. This can create pressures and influence people to conform to certain ideas, potentially leading to a disconnect from the culture. What no one is talking about is how this directly influences and impacts what and how we eat. The issue is that these unattainable body types, the social media influencers, and the class of cultural all compound this negative view of Mexican food. And I'm gonna say Mexican right now because I'm Mexican, but I mean all Latinos really, and our bodies. Body image can be a critical mental health issue. Media plays a significant role in societal attitudes and influencing people's attitudes, perceptions of their bodies, as we know. Latinos are not immune to the impact of media messages on their bodies and the development of eating disorders. So, although the majority of research on body image has focused on white girls and women, body image concerns are also widespread among girls and women of color, specifically among Latinas. Although findings are mixed, Latina adolescents frequently describe an ideal body type that is comparable to the white norm and report an interest in weight loss at rates similar to those reported by white peers. That's something to think about. Disordered eating is also widespread in high school years, with as many as 39% of adolescent girls fasting, going on extreme single food diets, or inducing and vomiting to lose weight. I looked those numbers up. There is a lack of research. Let me try that again. There is a lack of research when it comes to how many Latinas have eating disorders, what type of eating disorders, or who ultimately dies from this. In their attempts to be thin, girls and young women are waging in their attempts to be thin, girls and young women are struggling with their own image of their body types. We have some of the best foods. When I think about how my abuelos eat or ate and my ancestors' diets, it's clear that we were healthy, that they were healthy and fit without all the diet fads or working out. So this is a real problem. Acculturation is the idea of fitting in, but in this case, it's a real challenge. Addressing eating disorders within the Latinx community requires a multifaceted approach that recognizes the intersectionality of identities and considers the influence of both cultural and individuality. This involves culture, healthcare professionals providing bilingual and cultural sensitive resources, fostering open dialogue within the community, to think about the stigmas and promoting health seeking behavior. Almost done. I like to think that eating our cultural foods is resistance to the patriarchy and to colonization. Resistance. I'm not just a dietetics major, but a Latino studies major, and it's imperative that we take care of ourselves, not just by eating healthy, but not denying ourselves our culture in whatever form that takes, like food, and seeing ourselves as beautiful with all our curves. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm just kidding.